Minority staff have reviewed the letter and it's in order.
And do we have a copy here at the desk? And if you could bring that forward, Senator Calderon, that would be perfect. Thank you. Without objection, then. That goes in the Journal. Members, as it turns out, I have an announcement. Birthday celebrations in the next 2 weeks for members of our outstanding desk staff right here include Susan De La Fuente, Bernie McNulty, Zach Twilla, and Marlissa Hernandez. Happy birthday. And Bernie? Marlissa, I'm sorry, Marlissa. And Susan De La Fuente, who we all know from every email we've ever received from the Senate. Senator Pavley, any special item you want to bring to our attention?
Well, I just thought, since we were just filling a little bit of time, I thought for those who weren't around 10 years ago, this last week of session on September 11th, 2001, it was the most interesting week. It was our last week of session when the terrorists hit the World Trade Center.
Members?
And
Senator Pavley has the floor. I do think it's a day we all remember.
If you can visualize, if you weren't here, that the Tuesday the terrorists hit the Trade Center, the FBI made a recommendation that we close down the Capitol. It was because they thought if the terrorists attacked California, we would be the #1 target, the Capitol building, symbolic of California, and that we were closed down completely all day on Tuesday and Wednesday for the last week of session. And so can you imagine the consolidation of all the bills falling on just a Thursday and Friday? And I think Juan Vargas was here. Quite a few of you were here. It was quite a week. And that was the year that we started. Our first month back was the energy deregulation crisis, a drop in $12 billion in the stock market, and it ended in the last week was the terrorist attack. So everything since then has been relatively easy. Anyway, that's a trip down memory row.
Thank you, Senator Pavley. Everything's been relatively smooth except for the 2 recessions, giant deficit, and a few other little things. Senator Vargas, anything to add on the walk down memory lane? Motions and resolutions, members. And for your information, without objection, pursuant to Joint Rule 33.1, Joint Rules 61A13 will be suspended for AB 155. The request has been approved by rules. You'd like a roll call? All right, members, we will call the roll. Senator Vargas asked for an aye vote. Well, we'll just call the roll and see where we land. Actually, it's a 27-vote measure. Threshold to suspend. The Secretary will call the roll.
Alquist, Anderson, Berryhill, I. Blakesley, Calderon, Canella, Corbett, I. Correa, I. De Leon, I. DeSaulnier, I. Dutton, I. Emerson, I. Evans, Fuller, I. Gaines, no. Hancock, I. Harmon, I. Hernandez, Huff, I. Kehoe, I. LaMalfa, I. Leno, I. Ted Lieu, I. Carol Lieu, I. Lowenthal, I. Negrete McLeod, I. Padilla, I. Pavley, I. Price, I. Rubio, I. Runner, I. Semidian, Steinberg, Strickland, Hernandez, I. Vargas, I. Walters, I. Wolk, I. Wright, I. Wyland, I. Yee. Gaines, note aye.
Call the absent members.
Alquist, Anderson, no. Blakesley, Canella, I. Evans, I. Semidian, Steinberg, Strickland, Yee. Anderson, no to aye.
Ayes 34. Motion carries. The joint rule suspended. Senator Hancock, are you now prepared to take up
Item 155.
AB 155?
Yes, AB 155 as amended.
The Secretary will read.
Assembly Bill 155 by Assemblymember Charles Calderon and Skinner, an act relating to taxation, declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Thank you, Madam President.
Senator Hancock, just one moment. Go right ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. There have been deliberations with all parties involved in the e-fairness internet sales tax discussion, and we have come up with a fair solution for all businesses, large and small. I want to thank the pro tem, minority leader, Senator Dutton, the Speaker of the Assembly, my co-authors on this bill, and all the people who participated in the discussions. The amendments to AB 155 reflect those discussions with Amazon and California retail businesses. Specifically, Amazon has committed to us, the state of California, that they will begin collecting sales tax in this state on September 15th, 2012. We are glad that they have agreed to do the right thing. This is a huge positive step forward where we as a state can operate in a marketplace in which every company that sells to Californians plays by the same rules. While this is a delay in what we passed as part of the budget, it's a fair solution that will prevent an unnecessary referendum that would cost the taxpayers millions of dollars. I'd like to particularly thank the retailers, large and small, in this state who rallied to support this bill. They are the engines for job creation and will be allowed to operate on a level playing field in California. Members, I ask for your aye vote. This legislation will be good for the economy. It will maintain and create jobs. It will be good for the people of California. I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion, members? Senator Dutton?
Madam President and members, I'm going to rise in support of AB 155. We have actually achieved peace with the delicate compromise here. This bill, as amended, is supported by the California Retailers Association and Amazon. I'd like to point out it was told to me that this is the first time that the parties had actually been brought together in over 3 years to try to actually work out a compromise in a difficult situation. It also is supported by the California Business Properties Association and a very long list of retailers, employers, and California workers. I want to thank all parties for their hard work, but I also want to thank the members of the Senate for their patience as we work this out. Now, I have personally verified with all the parties involved, and there are a lot of them, with regards to the stakeholders, not necessarily the elected officials or staff, but the actual stakeholders themselves, the principals involved with this deal. And I would respectfully request a favorable consideration and would ask for an aye vote.
Continued debate, members. Senator Steinberg.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I want to thank Senator Hancock, Senator Dutton, and the others involved in bringing about this important bill, Assemblymember Calderon, of course, and the Speaker, and Nancy Skinner. Sometimes it works. Sometimes the process works. And I think this is a very good example. This is a very contentious issue, and California voters would have been saddled not only with a tough decision, but with endless 30-second commercials for many months before November 2012, with an uncertain outcome for Amazon, an uncertain outcome for the retailers, and from our perspective, most importantly, an uncertain outcome for our state. This is a classic compromise, but it's a good compromise. Even though we have to figure out a way to find the $200 million that we're going to have to forego as a result of this, we have the certainty as a state that we're going to be able to collect this tax going forward without dispute. And that, of course, adds up to potentially billions of dollars for public education and for all of our other priorities. The other thing that I think needs to be mentioned is that this creates an opportunity now for folks who have been waging media and public relations war for a long time to come together. The retailers and Amazon now go back to Washington, D.C. together to lobby for national legislation to ensure that all internet sellers collect the taxes. So this is good, and I want to thank all who were involved in bringing this together and showing that sometimes, in fact, the system works. I urge an aye vote.
Any further debate, members? And I don't see any more microphones. Senator Hancock, you may close.
I would echo the statements of Senate Minority Leader Bob Dutton, Senate Pro Tem Darrell Steinberg. Notice that Assemblymember Calderon is here with us, and again, ask for your aye vote.
Secretary will call the roll.
Alquist. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Blakeslee. Aye. Calderon. Aye. Canella. Aye. Corbett. Aye. Correa. Aye. De Leon. Aye. DeSaulnier. Aye. Dutton. Aye. Emerson. Aye. Evans. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Hancock. Aye. Harmon. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Huff. Aye. Kehoe.
Aye.
Aye. LaMalfa. Aye. Leno. Aye. Ted Lieu. Aye. Carol Lieu. Aye. Lowenthal. Aye. Negrete McLeod. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Price. Aye. Rubio. Aye. Runner. Aye. Semidian. Aye. Steinberg. Aye. Strickland. Vargas. Aye. Walters. Aye. Wolk. Aye. Wright. I, Wyland. No. Yee.
Call the absent members. Call the
Gain.
absent members.
Gaines. Strickland. Yee.
Ayes 36, noes 1 on the urgency. Ayes 36, noes 1, no 1 on the measure.
Madam President, I'd like to request immediate transmittal to the Assembly.
Members, without objection. Senator Wright, for what purpose?
To lift a call, Madam Chair.
Senator Wright is prepared to lift the call on SJR 14. SJR 14, members. And the Secretary will call the absent members.
Alquist. Aye. DeSaulnier. Smidian. Steinberg.
It's a resolution of internet gaming.
Ayes 37, no 0. The measure passes.
Give us the opportunity to opt out in case they do it.
Motion's adopted, yes. Whatever.
Okay. Could I request immediate transmittal as well, Madam President?
Senator, immediate transmittal to the Assembly? No objection. And then Senator DeSaulnier would like to lift the call on file item 64. File item 64. The Secretary will call the absent members.
Dutton. No. Evans. Gaines. LaMalfa. Price. Rubio. Smidian. No. Wright.
Call the absent members.
Wright. Aye. Evans. Aye. Gaines. Aye. LaMalfa. No. Price. Aye. Rubio. Rubio, aye.
Ayes 25, noes 15. The Assembly amendments are concurred in. Members, anyone else care to lift a call on any item? Anybody want to lift a call?
Why don't we? No, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. I want to call a brief, relatively brief Democratic caucus for 7:45 in 5 minutes. Okay. Thanks.
Democratic caucus at 7:45. Senator Dutton, anything to add? Senator Dutton, okay, thank you. Democratic caucus in 5 minutes, members, in the Maddie Lounge, 7:45.